Eagles. It'll be Carly Campbell, Emily Brazier, Ainsley Burleson, Katie Burdett, and Reese Wilson. The Lady Eagles wearing black uniforms, white numerals, trimmed out in light blue, baby blue, Carolina blue, however you want to put it. On the other side, Whitwell, I should say, will be wearing all white uniforms with red numerals outlined in black. Starting lineups being introduced here. Just coming off the Summertown boys 61-55 win over Soddy-Daisy. The Eagles will advance to the championship game tomorrow at 6:30. They will face the Knowledge Academy Moore County winner in the championship tomorrow night at 6:30. The Lady Eagles will face off with Moore County at the last end of their round robin tomorrow at 5 o'clock. So it'll be another back-to-back games for the Eagles, and you'll have them all here on the X Sports Network. Also going on in the X Sports Network starting at 6 o'clock, you have the Lawrence County Wildcats boys and girls action starting at 6 o'clock with the Lady Cats taking on Giles County. That'll be followed by the boys at 7:30. Fresh 8 seconds put on the clock here. So we're getting ready to start the second girls game here of the Whitwell Thanksgiving Classic. Katie Burdett now sends it back to Emily Brazier, who sends it to Carly Campbell. Possession goes to Eagles first. Reese Wilson now over to Ainsley Burleson. Burleson from the wing dribbles. Now at the Katie Burdett at the top of the key over to Carly Campbell. Campbell now over to Reese Wilson. Wilson over to Emily Brazier at the wing. Kicks it out to Katie Burdett at the top of the key. Now over to Emily Brazier. Brazier brings it down. Screen from Wilson. Now dribbles. Now over to Carly Campbell. Campbell's going to try a three, and she hits it. First shot up and in for the Eagles. They lead it 3-0, 7:30 here in the first. Taking it out of bounds is Jamie Rollins. And it's going to be Courtney Zinsen now dribbling here at the top of the key. Rollins actually was a starter. And it's Zinsen. Now sends it over to Addie Culver. Culver now inside to Zinsen. Zinsen's layup is blocked by Brazier, but Brazier's going to get called for the foul. First foul against the Eagles, first against Brazier. And Zinsen's going to go to the line to shoot two. Now Zinsen's first free throw attempt is up and in. 3-1, the Eagle lead. 7:05 remaining here in the first quarter. Second free throw is up and it's in. 2 for 2. It's a 3-2 Summertown lead. Now bringing it up is Campbell. Campbell pulls it down over to Emily Brazier. Brazier dribbles, now out to Campbell. Campbell now over to Ainsley Burleson from the wing. Burleson to Campbell. Campbell thinks about three, brings it down, hands off to Brazier at the top of the key. Brazier over to Burleson. Burleson now open to Campbell. Campbell's going to try another three. Back iron, no good. Rebounded by Ainsley Burleson. Easy layup up and in. Good hustle there on the play. 5-2 is the Summertown lead they put on the press. And it's Rollins. Sends it over to Zinsen, and Zinsen's going to dribble it up here for the Lady Tigers. Now guarded by Burleson. Dribbles between the legs. Now over to Rollins. Rollins tries a three, and that one rattles up and in. 5-4 is the Summertown lead. As Burleson now has it over to Campbell. Campbell to Wilson, now over to Brazier. Brazier over to Campbell. Campbell from the wing, now over to Brazier. Brazier now to Burleson. Burleson's going to try a three. That one's up, front iron, no good. And coming down with the rebound is Maria Basham. Zinsen now has it, guarded by Campbell. Now kicks out to Zinski. Now over to Basham for three. Back iron, no good. Rebounded by Reese Wilson. Now bringing it up quickly is Carly Campbell. Hands off to Ainsley Burleson. Now sends it to Wilson to Campbell in the corner for three. Back iron, no good. And it rebounded by Emily Brazier. Brazier now sends it over to Burleson, down to Burdett. Layup's no good. Wilson comes down with it. And the dribble goes off her legs and out of bounds. First turnover of the game against the Eagles is Dzinski. Now Dzingolski now sent it over to Zinsen. Zinsen Over to Basham, now over to Dazinski. Dazinski's three-pointer back iron, no good. She gets her own rebounds. Now going to try the jumper, back iron, no good. Rebounded by Wilson. Now bringing it up is Kylie Campbell ahead to Katie Burdett. Burdett layup shot and in. First points of the game for Burdett. Summertown now leads it 7-4. 4:55 remaining in the first quarter. Intercepted by Emily Brazier. Brazier now out to Burleson. Burleson inside to Reese Wilson. Layup up and in. Good passing. Another turnover forced. And Summertown leads it by 5, 9-4. Dazinski now has it. She dribbles, guarded by Kylie Campbell. Behind the back, nice move. Screen put on by Basham. Basham has the top of the key. Now over to Rollins. Rollins. Now to Zinsen. Zinsen over to Dazinski. Now off to Rollins. Rollins over to Zinsen. Thinks about three. Steps up inside the three-point line. Jumper's good. Nothing but net. 4 points for Zinsen. That cuts the lead to 9-6. Kylie Campbell going to bring it up the court here for the Eagles. She crosses the timeline. Sends it over to Emily Brazier in the corner. Now out to Campbell, over to Reese Wilson. Now to Ainsley Burleson. She's going to try a three from the wing. Rolls in, no good. Attempted rebound by Burdett. Goes off her and out of bounds to the Tigers. 3:58 remaining here in a fast-moving first quarter. Summertown leading 9-6. Rollins sends it in. It's intercepted by Emily Brazier. Brazier now to Burleson. Burleson thinks about it, and she is going to take a three. And it's in, nothing but net. 5 points for Ainsley Burleson. And Whitwell is going to call its first timeout of the game. Summertown leads it 12-6, 3:46 remaining in the first. We'll be back here on the X Sports Network.
Flooring sets the tone throughout your home.
For flooring that makes the right first impression, start by choosing us, Floored by Justin.
A one-stop flooring destination. Our new location stands alone for unequaled customer service and selection. Owner Justin Story's mastery of custom hardwood inlays means every room can have a custom look. Discover how the right choice of hardwood, laminate, carpet, or tile can set the tone in your home. Contact Floored by Justin today.
And back here at the Whitwell Thanksgiving Classic, Summertown leading 12-6, 3:46 remaining in the first. As the Tigers going to bring it up the court to Dazinski. Now dribbles up the top of the key, out the Rollins over to Zinsen. Zinsen's going to try an NBA range three, and she hits it. Nothing but net for Zinsen. She's got 7. And the lead now down the 3, 12-9. 3:30 remaining here in the first. Kylie Campbell now over to Ainsley Burleson at the wing. Back to Campbell. Over to Reese Wilson. Now to Emily Brazier at the wing. Brazier now over to Burleson. Down low to Wilson. He gets her pass blocked right back in her hands over to Emily Brazier, who saves it. Brazier now to Kylie Campbell from the Tiger logo. 3:10 remaining here in the first. Campbell dribbles around now over to Ainsley Burleson. Inside to Katie Burdett. Burdett down low to Wilson. Out to Emily Brazier from the corner for three. Rolls around, no good. Rebounded by Addie Culver. As Culver now going to bring it up. Skip pass over to Rollins in the corner. Now back out the Culver from the wing. Inside to Zinsen. Zinsen catches, shoots, and it's in. Zinsen with 9, and it's a 1-point Summertown lead with 2:40 remaining here in the first. And it's Campbell now over to Brazier. Now inside, intercepted by Culver. Now to Dazinski. Jump ball, and that possession is going to go to the Tigers. Second turnover against Summertown as they lead at 12-11. Checking into the game is Kylie Kilgore. Zinsen now brings it up, being double teamed, but she breaks the press. Now over to Culver. Culver now to Basham, over to Dazinski. In the corner, Dazinski can't handle it. Out of bounds to the Eagles. Now checking into the game for Katie Burdett is Mia Dimwitty. 2:18 remaining here in the first. Summertown leads it 12-11. Kylie Campbell going to bring it up the court. Crosses the timeline over to Ainsley Burleson. Now to Brazier in the corner. Brazier now out to Burleson. Burleson back to Campbell. Campbell's going to try a three. Back iron, no good. Rebounded by Culver. Culver now sends it to Kilgore. Wasn't ready for it. Intercepted by Burleson. Good defense. Layup no good, but rebounded by Dimwitty and rejected by Zinsen. So after the forced turnover, easy layup does not roll in for the Eagles. as Campbell's going to take it out of bounds. Kicks it out to Ainsley Burleson. Burleson now over to Dimwitty. Dimwitty back to Burleson at the other wing. Skip pass over to Brazier at the wing. Now to Carly Campbell at the Tiger logo. She dribbles over to Burleson. Burleson's going to try an NBA range three. Nothing but net and in. 8 points for Ainsley Burleson, and it is a 15-11 Eagle lead. Zinsen now going to bring it up here for the Tigers. Now to Dzingelski, and she's going to get fouled by Ainsley Burleson. First against Burleson, second against the Lady Eagles. 1:31 remaining here in the first. 15-11 is the Summertown lead. Checking into the game, Olivia Riggs for Carly Campbell. Kilgore has it. Sends it in to Zinsen across the timeline. Zinsen now back to Kilgore. Kilgore guarded by Brazier. She's going to drive. She's at the top of the key now inside the Culver. Culver kicks it back out at the top of the key. She dribbles. Hand off to Kilgore, who has at the Tiger logo. Kilgore dribbles, guarded by Brazier. Brazier, good defense, knocks away. Kilgore drops on it. Wilson gets a little too aggressive on Culver, and she's going to pick up her first. Third against the Lady Eagles. 1:12 remaining here in the first quarter. Fairly quick back and forth moving first quarter. Zinsen gets the inbounds pass. Zinsen now dribbles, guarded by Burleson. Out the culvert in the corner. She's now going to drive the baseline, guarded by Mia Dimwitty. Shot is up, no good. Rebounded by Emily Brazier. Brazier now going to bring it up the court. Guarded by, now over to Mia Dimwitty, to Brazier at the top of the key, over to Ainsley Burleson. She's going to try another three, and rattles home. She's got 11, and Summertown's lead is 18-11. Courtney Zinsen bringing it up the court here for the Tigers. She crosses the timeline. Good defense by Burleson, knocks it away, but Zinsen gets it back. Now over to Rollins. Rollins at top of the key, guarded by Riggs. She's going to drive. Now goes back out over to Basham. Basham to Culver. Culver thinks about three, steps up, and knocks down the jumper. Her first points of the game. 18-13 is the Summertown lead. Brazier brings it up the court quickly. Now over to Ainsley Burleson. She's going to try another three. Front iron, no good. And the ball's going to go off of Culver and out of bounds. Riggs boxes her out. But Culver still got a hand on it. Knocks out of bounds with 14.6 remaining in the first. Brazier finds an open Burleson in the corner. She's now going to drive and get fouled. First foul here against the Tigers. And it's going to go against Maria Basham, her first. And Burleson going to go to the line to shoot two. We'll say she was in the act of shooting. First free throw's up and in. 12 points in the game here already for Ainsley Burleson. Now checking into the game is Ella Grace Harvey for the Tigers, in for Maria Basham. Second free throw from Burleson is up, and it's in. Nothing but net, 2 for 2. And checking into the game, Abby Jo Schaefer and Mackenzie Reynolds. Burleson and Wilson going to take a seat for the final 15 seconds here of the first half. Courtney Zinsen brings it up the court here, guarded by Riggs. Zinsen's going to try a three and hits it. Zinsen 4 for 4 from the field. And that makes it a 20-16 Summertown lead as we end the first quarter. When we return, it's time for the second quarter here on the X Sports Network. And back here at the Whitwell Thanksgiving Classic, getting ready to start the second quarter. Summertown leads Whitwell 20-16. Already on fire, Ainsley Burleson. She has 12 of the Lady Eagles' 20 points. Now it's Reynolds with it in the corner, over to Emily Brazier from the Tiger logo. Back to Mackenzie Reynolds. Reynolds drives, kicks out to Riggs. Riggs now to Brazier. Brazier at the top of the key. She dribbles, guarded by Zinsen. Now at the Mia Dimwitty. Dimwitty now over to Brazier in the corner. Now inside to Reynolds. Good cut. Up and can't get it to fall, but she's going to go to the line to shoot two. Picking up the foul is going to be Kylie Kilgore, her first, second against the Lady Tigers. And Reynolds going to attempt her first free throws of the game. Left-hander shot is up. Back iron no good. 20-16 is the lead as Maria Basham and Lily Dzingelski checks in for the Tigers. And Reynolds, second free throw is up. Rattles home, no good. Schaefer, though, gets a hand on it, but gets picked up by Culver. And now Courtney Zinsen going to bring it up the court. Now over in the corner to Jamie Rollins. Back out to Addie Culver. Culver inside to Zinsen. Zinsen is going to get fouled on the play. And that foul, I guess, is going to go against Reynolds, her first. Hard to tell from this angle. It's a fourth against the Eagles. Zinglesey now sends it out to Zinsen. Zinsen in the paint, spins, goes up and is going to get fouled. That one's going to go against Riggs, her first, team's fifth. So Zinsen's going to go to the line to shoot 2. 15 foul against the Lady Eagles. They lead at 20-16, 7:19 here remaining in the second quarter. First free throw attempt from Zinsen is up. Back iron no good. Zinsen is 12. Second free throw attempt is up and it's in. She's 3 for 4 from the line. She's 13 in the game. It's a 20-17 Lady Eagle lead. Brazier now up the court quickly. Now over to Mia Dimwitty. Now back to Brazier. Now skip pass over to Riggs. Riggs. Now over to Brazier. Brazier. Now down low to Abby Jo Schaefer. Goes up, but she gets fouled. Schaefer's going to go to the line to shoot 2. And the foul is going to go against Maria Basham. That's her second. Lady Tigers third. Schaefer going to go to the line to shoot 2. First free throw attempts of the game. First one's back iron, no good. 7:01 remaining here. Eagles lead by 3. As Carly Campbell now checks into the game, along with Ellie Grace Harvey for Whitwell. Campbell in for Brazier. Schaefer's second attempt is up. Banks it in. That works. It's a 4-point Lady Eagle lead, 21-17 at 7 minutes left. So Rollins gets it into Zinsen. Zinsen guarded by Riggs. Double team is on. Now back over to Rollins. Rollins crosses the timeline. Dribbles, guarded by Riggs. She's going to go up for the layup. Can't get it to go. Rebound by Schaefer. Schaefer now over to Campbell. Campbell, quick drive up. Over to Dimwitty. Now over to Riggs. Riggs back to Dimwitty at the wing. Over to Campbell at the logo. Campbell now over to Dimwitty. Throws it in for Schaefer. Schaefer goes off the glass, rattles, but cannot fall. And now we got a foul. Actually calling the jump ball. And that will retain possession with Whitwell. Rollins looking for Zinglesey, but throws it in for Zinsen. Zinsen gets it on the run, sends it over to Culver. Culver thinks about 3, now steps up, shoots a jumper, can't get it to go. Rebounded by Campbell. Campbell going to quickly bring it back the other way for Summertown. Crossover. Throws it over to Reynolds. Reynolds drives. Floaters up, no good. Knocked out of bounds, and that will go to Whitwell. 6:09 remaining here in the first half as the ball went through the doors to the concession stand and now back out the play. Jamie Rollins takes it out of bounds here for the Tigers. She's in the Courtney Zinsen. Zinsen now being double teamed, and they both fall. Everyone falls down, but she gets it into Zinglesey now in the culvert. Guarded by Schaefer. Spin move off the glass for 2. Beautiful move by Addie Culvert. She now has 4 points, and the lead is cut to 2. Campbell brings it up quickly. She goes up for the layup, can't hit it. Rebound, and Campbell gets her own rebound. Now out to Reynolds, back to Campbell. And ball gets knocked out of bounds. Possession's going to stay with Summertown. Katie Burdett, Ainsley Burleson going to check in for Schaefer and Riggs. As Lily Zinglesey now in the paint, tying her shoe. And she's up and we're ready to play. As Mia Dimwitty sends it in to Carly Campbell, who takes it to the top of the key. Sends over Ainsley Burleson at the wing. Now to Campbell. In the Burleson at the top of the key, dribbles over, and it's almost intercepted by Culver. Now back to Burleson. Burleson has it to Carly Campbell. Sends it to Burleson. Burleson inside to Katie Burdett. Burdett, and she's going to get called for the travel. Third turnover by the Eagles. 5:24 remaining here in the first half. 21-19 is a Summertown lead. Off the press, Courtney Zinsen gets the catch. She's going to get it across the timeline over to Culver. Culver now inside the Zinsen. Zinsen, nice pass to Harvey. Harvey misses. Good rebound by Katie Burdett. They're going to bring it up to Carly Campbell. Now back to Burdett. Burdett. Jumper in the paint, can't make it. Rebounded by Whitwell. Now out to Zinsen. Zinsen now over to Zinglesey. She's going to try a 3. Air ball, and that one's going to go out of bounds. Zinglesey 0 for 3 from the floor in this one. And Wilson and Brazier going to check back in for Summertown. Dimwitty and Reynolds now going to head to the bench for the Lady Eagles. Scarlett Campbell will slowly bring it up here, now picks up across the timeline. And drives, she's going to try a floater, and it's up and in. 5 points for Campbell. Summertown's leads out the 4, 23-19. Presses on here by the Eagles. Courtney Zinsen has it. She's now going to drive across the timeline, goes into the paint, throws up a layup, rattles home and in. Zinsen 5 for 5 from the floor, and the lead's back down to 2. Kylie Campbell now over to Ainsley Burleson, thinks about 3, now steps up, throws it inside to Katie Burdett, loses control, gets it back, now back to Burleson at the wing. She thinks about 3, now dribbles. Cross-court pass, Emily Brazier now to Kylie Campbell, thinks about 3, now dribbles, now to Burleson, and the ball gets dribbled off her foot and into the possession of the Tigers. Skip pass over to Rollins, across the court now to Zinsen, has at the Tiger logo. 23-21, under 4 minutes left to play in the first half. Zinsen hands off to Rollins, now to Zingelski. Now to Zinsen in the corner. Throws it to Culver. She's going to try a straightaway 3. Back iron, no good. Rebounded by Wilson. Wilson brings it up to Burleson. Burleson drives. Skip pass over to Brazier in the corner, but brings it back out to Wilson. Wilson to Burleson in the corner. Over to Campbell. Campbell fakes. Throws it inside to Katie Burdett. Left-handed hook shot's up and in, and the foul. 4 points for Burdett, and she's going to go for the line for the first time today. Maria Basham picks up her 3rd foul as the team's 4th, and Burdett's going to go to the line for the first time tonight. 25-21 to lead, 3:27 remaining here in the first half. And Burdett going for the and-1, free throws up, rattles and Campbell. Wilson's there for the rebound. Now to Campbell, she's going to try a 3 from the wing, back iron, no good. And Burdett's going to get caught for the over and back. 16 foul against the Lady Eagles. That's the first against Burdett. Everybody who has there's no multiple fouls, so it's 6 individual fouls here. No one in foul trouble. Inbounds now into Zinsen to Harvey, back to Zinsen. She crosses the timeline, guarded by Campbell and Burleson. Now up to Culver. Culver thinks about 3. Now sends it into Zinsen at the post. Zinsen now drives on Katie Burdett. Gets her shot rejected, but they're going to call Burdett for a second. Zinsen's now going to go back to the line to shoot 2. Zinsen already with 15 here for the Tigers. As they trail by 4, 3:07 remaining here in the first half. First free throw from Zinsen is up. Rattles home and in. 4 for 5 from the line as Dimwitty checks in for Katie Burdett. Next free throw from Zinsen is up, and it's nothing but net. 5 for 6 from the line, 17 points for Zinsen, and the lead's down to 2, 25-23. Campbell now over to Dimwitty, back to Campbell. Campbell sends in the corner to Brazier. Brazier now to Ainsley Burleson. Burleson back to Campbell, straight away, NBA range 3, back iron, no good, rebounded by Reese Wilson. And Wilson now going to take her own and makes it. 2 for 2 from the floor, 4 points from Wilson is a 4-point Lady Eagle lead. Zingelski now has it, guarded by Campbell. And she gets across the timeline, sends it into sends it into Kilgore. Kilgore loses it, stolen by Brazier ahead to Kylie Campbell. Campbell now sends it to Mia Dimwitty, who kicks it out to Burleson. Burleson drives, layup up, and in. 6-point Lady Eagle lead, 29-23, 2:15 remaining here in the first half. Courtney Zinsen has it. She's trapped on the sideline, but gets out of it. Throws a pass over to Zingelski across the timeline. She contains it. Now sends it over to Kilgore. Kilgore down low to Zinsen. Zinsen loses control, but Kilgore's there to regain possession. Now up to Zingelski at the top of the key. 1:50 remaining here in the first half. Zingelski dribbles, and a timeout's going to be called by Whitwell, their second here of the game. And with that, we'll take a short break here as well on the X Sports Network.
Got a dent?
And back here at Whitwell High School for the Whitwell Thanksgiving Tournament from Van Hooser Gymnasium. Summertown leads at 29-23, 1:48 remaining here in the second quarter. As Kilgore here now Want to lob it in, but it's intercepted by Mia Dimwitty. Dimwitty now brings it up the court over to Emily Brazier. Brazier's layup is up and fouled. Zinsen gets called for her first, the team's fifth, and Brazier's going to go to the line to shoot two. Trying to get her first points of the game. Good steal there by Dimwitty and brought it up the court quickly. Now Brazier's shooting two. First one's up and in. 30-23 is the score here. And the next attempt here from Brazier is up. And it's in. 2 for 2 from the line. 2 points for Brazier. It's a 31-23 Lady Eagle lead. Rollins checks in for Kilgore for the Tigers. Now going to take it out of bounds. And sends it in to Basham. Basham playing with 3 fouls. Baseball pass out to Zinsen. Zinsen now drives, takes it in, and gets knocked out of bounds by Brazier. Good defense here by the Lady Eagles. They forced 6 turnovers in this one. Knocked a few balls out of bounds as well. And Dzinglesley takes it out of bounds, and we're going to get an offensive foul. That one's going to go against Addie Culver, her first. That is the team's 6th, and Summertown's going to retain possession. Now Carly Campbell brings up the court quickly. 1:30 remaining here in the first half. Over to Brazier at the wing. In the Wilson in the corner, dribbles out the Dimwitty, over to Ainsley Burleson, and from the wing. Now to Wilson from the wing. Now a handoff over to Campbell at the logo. Sends it to Burleson. Burleson dribbles. Inside to Wilson. Wilson goes up, misses, gets her own rebound. Out to Campbell, thinks about 3, now out to Burleson. And Burleson gets her pass stolen by Zinsen, who dribbles off her foot, regains possession. Now Culver's going to drive. Goes up, layup is in. She's got 6 points in the league. Gets cut to 6, 31-25. And here's Wilson has it at the top of the key, out to Dimwitty. Dimwitty now dribbles. Now has it to Brazier. Brazier to Campbell. Campbell to Brazier. Now to Burleson. Burleson well beyond NBA range 3, misses. And that one's rebounded by Dimwitty. Throws it back into Campbell. Campbell now out to Brazier. Good hustle here by the Lady Eagles. Campbell now over to Dimwitty. And her pass to Wilson is thrown too high, intercepted by Zinsen. Zinsen brings it across the timeline. 20 seconds remaining. She drives, loses it, fight for it, sends it to Rollins. Now out to Basham. Basham to Culver. Now to Dzingleski. She dribbles, guarded by Dimwitty, over to Culver in the corner. 5 seconds remaining. Culver picks up, now over to Rollins. Rollins into Zinsen, it's intercepted, and that's the end of the first half. After 16 minutes of play, Summertown leads this one 31-25. When we return, it'll be time for the second half here on the X Sports Network.
Good goes the distance for local sports on the X Sports Network.
And back here at the Whitwell Thanksgiving Classic from Van Hooser Gymnasium at Whitwell High School. Summertown leads this one at halftime 31-25 over Whitwell as we get ready to start the second half. Taking a look at the statistics for Whitwell. Leading all scorers is Courtney Zinsen. She had 16 in the first half. Addie Culver had 6. And Jamie Rollins hit the other bucket for the Tigers. She has 3 points. Other end for Summertown. Leading the charge for the Lady Eagles is Ainsley Burleson. She has 15. Carly Campbell has 5. Katie Burdett and Reese Wilson each with 4. Abby Jo Schaefer with 1. And Emily Brazier with 2. Those are your scores. Nobody really on Summertown's side with any foul trouble. Katie Burdett has 2. Brazier, Burleson, Riggs, Reynolds, and Wilson each have 1. On the other end for Whitwell, Kilgore, Zinsen, Culver have 1. But Maria Basham has 3. So as we get ready to start things off, and it looks like Summertown is going to start off with possession, leading by 6, 31-25. Burleson was on fire there in the first half. She had 3 3-pointers, a pair of layups, and she also was 2 for 2 from the free throw line. So starting things off here for the Eagles, as Reese Wilson's going to send it in here to Carly Campbell. As Campbell gets it, crosses the timeline at the top of the key. Gets a screen over to Burleson in the corner. Now to Campbell at the wing. Now over to Wilson, inside to Katie Burdett. Out to Burleson, who cuts. Now sends it to Brazier in the corner for 3. Rattles home and in First bucket of the game for Brazier. She's got 5, and the lead's out the 9, 34-25. Rollins gets it in to Basham. Basham now to Dzingleski. Dzingleski has at the Tiger logo, crosses the timeline. The behind-the-back move, guarded by Campbell. Another behind-the-back move to Basham at the free throw line. Now over to Zinsen. Zinsen drives. Goes up, throws it up. Front iron, no good. Rebounded by Wilson. Wilson ahead to Campbell. Campbell now dribbling. Over to Burleson, straight away, now in the Burdett, the free throw line, inside the Wilson, can't handle it. Now sends out the Brazier, the corner to Burleson. Inside the Burdett, gets the pass from Burleson. Good job there, and she gets fouled. She's going to go to the line to shoot 2. And picking up the fouls, Courtney Zinsen, that's her first team foul against Whitwell here in the second half. Burdett 0 for 1 from the line. She's going to shoot 2 here. First one's up and out. Did not get the friendly bounce. She's now going to get another chance here to make it a double-digit lead. Next free throw's up, and that one's nothing but net and in. She's 1 for 3 from the line. 5 points for Burdett. It's a 35-25 Lady Eagle lead. Rollins quickly up to Culver. Culver now drives into the paint. Jumpers up. No good. Rebounded by Campbell. Campbell now going to bring it up quickly here for the Eagles. Over to Burleson. Burleson drives the baseline into Burdett. Burdett out to Wilson. Straight away 3. Nothing but net and in. Wilson's got 7, and Whitwell's going to call a timeout. Eagles lead this one by 13, 38-25. We'll return here on the X Sports Network.
This is the X Sports Network.
And back here at the Van Hooser Gym at Whitwell High School for the Whitwell Thanksgiving Classic. Summertown leads the host squad 38-25 here in the third quarter, 6:43 remaining. Whitwell called their third timeout after that Reese Wilson three-pointer. She's got 7. Press being put on here by the Lady Eagles as Rollins sends it in to Courtney Zinsen. Now in the Basham. Basham now ahead to Zinsen. Zinsen dribbles it at the wing. Zinsen now ahead here to Lily Dzingleski. She drives at the top of the key, hand off to Rollins. Rollins now to Dzingleski. Over to, gets a screen from Basham. She dribbles, now being double teamed. Now being guarded by Brazier at the top of the key. Now over to Zinsen. Zinsen guarded by Ainsley Burleson. Zinsen dribbles now out to Basham. Basham to Culver. Deep 3 from Culver. Back iron, no good. Rebounded by Rollins. Rollins keeps it alive for the Tigers. Ahead to Zinsen. Zinsen skip pass over to Zinglesey in the corner, guarded by Brazier. She dribbles it back out. And it's over to Culver. Culver now dribbles between her legs. Over to Basham. Almost intercepted, but regained by Culver. Now over to Rollins. Culver thinks about 3, now brings it back down. Lob pass into Zinsen. Layup is up and in. Good job there by Courtney Zinsen. She has 18. And the lead's back down to 11, 38-27. Campbell now dribbles it to Wilson. Over to Burleson. She's going to drive the baseline. Skip past to Brazier. Over to Campbell. She's going to try a 3 from the wing, and she hits it. She's got 8 points for the Lady Eagles, and the lead is out to 14, their largest of the game, 41-27. Rollins gets it in the Basham. Basham dribbles across the timeline. That one is thrown and kicked by Katie Burdett, and going to retain possession for Whitwell. Head coach Eric Zinsen really giving it to his squad after a poor pass there. Now to Zinglesky, looking, finds an open Basham. Basham, and that one's stolen by Ainsley Burleson. First turnover of the second half for the Tigers. Now Wilson dribbles, goes up and under. Layup is up and in! And the foul for Wilson. She's got 9, and she's going to go to the free throw line. And that one's called against Zinsen. That's her third. And Wilson going to go to the free throw line to convert the and-1. He's got 5 points already here in the second half. 5 minutes left to play here in the third. Free throw is up, and it's in. She's got 10. Eagles lead at 44-27. Passes into Dzingleski. Eagles back off a little bit. She's guarded by Kylie Campbell. Now Brazier on Rollins. Skip pass over to Zinglesky. She's got it across the timeline. She dribbles, top of the key now by the Whitewell level. Now, deep 3 here from Kilgore, and she misses. Rebounded by Campbell. Campbell going to bring it up for the Lady Eagles. Throws it over to Brazier. Brazier over to Wilson. Wilson down low to Burdett. She spins. Hook shot up and in, and the foul. Burdett has 7, and she's going to go back to the line. Foul's going to go against Basham. That's her 4th. And Burdett going to try to convert the M1. She's 1 of 3 from the line so far today. It's up and it's in. She gets it. She's got 8, and Summertown leads by 20, 47-27, 4:30 remaining here in the third quarter. Courtney Zinsen brings it across the timeline, guarded by Burleson. And that one gets knocked out of bounds by Kylie Campbell. Good defense on the trap on the sidelines by the Lady Eagles. As Rollins now sends it into Zinsen, who's guarded by Burleson. Zinsen now over to Zingelski. And Eric Zinsen barks out the signals, and that one is thrown off the foot of Campbell. Reese Wilson dives for it unsuccessfully as it goes out of bounds. Good hustle there by Wilson. And again, some more great defense here by the Summertown ladies. As Rollins now sends it into Zinsen. Now over to Zingelski. She's going to dribble it around. Guarded by Campbell. And she loses it. Campbell now gets it, and Zingelski's going to dribble it out of bounds. Second turnover forced there by the Eagles. 8th of the game for Whitwell. And Summertown now gets it. Campbell skip pass over to Brazier. Brazier back to Campbell. Campbell now sends Ainsley Burleson in the corner. Down low to Katie Burdett. Out to Campbell. Campbell thinks about 3 over to Brazier, and now to Wilson on the baseline. Down low to Burdett, but it's too high. Intercepted by Zingelski. She brings it over the timeline. Now to Zinsen. Zinsen guarded by Burleson at the wing. She's going to cross over. Now goes into the paint. Goes up and blocked by Burdett. Katie Burdett right there to send that one out of bounds. Checking into the game here for the Tigers is Ella Grace Harvey. And Zingelski out of bounds. He's going to try to throw it in and lobs it into Zinsen, who has it near the Tiger logo. 3:20 remaining here in the third quarter. Now Zinsen guarded by Brazier, now out to Culver. Now to Zingelski, out to Harvey. Harvey at top of the key, guarded by Brazier, now over to Culver. Culver now down low to Harvey. Harvey's layup is up and in. First points of the game for Harvey. And it's a 47-29 Summertown advantage. Just under 3 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. Brazier gets it to Campbell. Campbell straight away 3. Back iron no good. Rebounded by Zingelski. And Zinsen now has possession. Brings it over the timeline. Over to Zingelski, guarded by Burleson. Now sends it to Culver at the top of the key. Down low to Zinsen, but Zinsen gets it knocked away, regains possession. Now going to try to drive into the paint. Now over to Harvey, back to Culver. Culver dribbles near the Whitewell logo. Over to Rollins at the wing, guarded by Brazier. Now over to Harvey with Burdett on it. Over to Culver. She's going to try a deep 3 and air balls. And Campbell's going to regain possession here for the Eagles and bring it up the court. Crosses the timeline, skip pass over to Burleson. Burleson thinks about 3, but pulls it down back to Campbell at the Whitewell logo. Now over to Burleson for the deep 3, rattles home, but can't get it to go as Harvey gets the rebound. And that one almost thrown out of bounds. Harvey regains possession over to Culver. Culver now over to Zinsen. Zinsen and Burleson collide, and that one's going to get called against Burleson, her second. And that is Summertown's first here in the second half. Now checking into the game here for Whitwell is Kendall Long. As Maria Basham dribbles at the Whitwell logo. Now over to Zinsen. Zinsen at the free throw line, drives on Burleson, throws it up and can't get it to go. And Burleson picks up her third, and Zinsen's going to go to the line again. She's 5 of 6 from the free throw line. And Zinsen's first free throw is up and in. 6 of 7. She's got 19. Second one from Zinsen is up and it's in. She's got 20. She's 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Kylie Kilgore brings it up. 47-31, the Summertown lead. Mia Dimwitty checked into the game for Summertown. Burleson has it at the wing, kicks it out to Campbell. Campbell at the top of the key, dribbles, and is going to hit a freshly checked Lauren Howe. Missed shot there by Wilson. And it's rebounded by Zinsen. Zinsen going to bring it up. Now over to Dzingolski, over to Wilson. To Zinsen at the top of the key. 16-point lead here for Summertown. 1:10 remaining in the third quarter. Zinsen drives over to Dzingolski. Passes it off the foot of Dimwitty, and Campbell gets on the floor and gets the steal. Now Burleson in transition. Three-point attempt for Summertown. Back iron no good. Rebounded by Burleson. Burleson down low in the pass off of the Summertown Eagle hands and out of bounds. Their second turnover of the second half, 8th of the game. Don't have a 31 on the roster. It's either Lauren Howe or Hannah Jones. As Zinsen now going to bring it up the court here and finds Long. Long now over to Basham. Basham out to Zinsen. 35 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Long now sends it over to Dzingolski. Over to Zinsen. Zinsen going to try a three from the wing. Misses. Rebounded by Wilson. Bringing it up the court is Dimwitty. Now over to Kylie Campbell. Campbell hands it off. Now it's over to Burleson. Burleson from the wing. Now back to Campbell. Campbell over to Burleson for three. Nothing but net. Burleson's got 18. Summertown's lead is out to 19. Half-court shot by Zinsen's no good. After 3 quarters of play, Summertown leads Whitwell 50-31. We'll return with the fourth quarter here on the X Sports Network.
AJ Good goes the distance for local sports on the X Sports Network.
And back here at the Van Hooser Gym for the Whitwell Thanksgiving Classic, Summertown leads O squad 50-31 as we start the fourth quarter. Courtney Zinsen gets the inbounds pass here for the Tigers across the timeline. Now over to Jamie Rollins, over to Lily Dzingolski, back to Rollins to Zinsen in the corner, guarded by Ainsley Burleson. Zinsen gets her pass tipped over to Addie Culvert, who's going to try a three from the corner off the top of the backboard, rebounded by Mia Dimwitty. Ahead to Kylie Campbell. Campbell quickly in transition, floater rattles home and in. Campbell's got 10. Summertown leads it by 21, 52-31. Quickly ahead to Lily Dzingolski. She's got it near the Tiger logo. She's guarded by Campbell, and the first foul is called against Kylie Campbell in the game, a touch foul, which with the team leading by 21, I don't know why you call them that situation, but they do. As Brazier and Burdett now check back into the game for the Lady Eagles. That foul's not been called all game long, so I don't know why you call it there. So here comes Brazier. Basham. Now over to Zinsen. Zinsen going to throw up a prayer, and it's in. She's got 22, and that cuts the lead to a 19 at 52-33. As Campbell now going to drive, throws up a prayer, and she's going to get called for a walk. Now bringing it in is Zinsen. That shot is up and in. Burdett has 10. Summertown's leads out to 21. And it's Basham now driving to Zinsen. And a tie up there. And possession's going to go to Summertown. It's the fourth turnover against the Tigers here in the second half, 10th for the game, as Ainsley Burleson is going to check in for Kylie Campbell as the Eagles lead by 21. Brazier now dribbles. and sends it in to Burleson. Burleson now dribbles. She's being trapped at the sideline, throws it, and that one's going to go across the midcourt stripe for an over and back. 10th team turnover against the Eagles, 4th of the second half, and possession goes to Whitwell. 5:56 remaining here in the fourth quarter from the Thanksgiving Classic here at Whitwell. Lady Eagles will face off with Moore County tomorrow at 5 o'clock for the Classic Championship. It's Basham now sends it to Culver. Culver thinks about three, over to Rollins. Rollins at the wing. Tries to get in to Zinsen but can't. Now over to Dzingelski at the corner, guarded by Brazier. Now over to Basham. Basham to Culver. Deep three attempt from Culver, and she hits it. Nothing but net. Culver's got 9. That cuts the lead to 18, 54-56. Burleson crosses the timeline and sends it to Wilson. Wilson now to Dimwitty. Dimwitty dribbles. Now over to Burleson at the top of the key. Burleson looks. And we're going to get a timeout called here by Summertown. Their second of the game. And with that, we'll take a short break as well here on the X Sports Network. And back here at the Whitwell Thanksgiving Tournament, Summertown leading by 18 with 5 minutes remaining in the game. As Brazier now sends out the Reese Wilson over to Ainsley Burleson, saves it from the steal attempt. Skip pass over to Brazier. Brazier in the paint, throws it up, and she's going to get fouled, and they said it was going to be on the floor. And that's going to go against Basham, I believe. That's her 5th. As Kylie Campbell checks in for Brazier. And actually, no, that's just going to be her 4th. And Brazier now, Campbell now, inbounds to Burleson in the corner. Dribbles it out to the top of the key. Now over to Dimwitty, back to Burleson. Over to Campbell. Campbell, NBA range 3, rattles home and in. Campbell with her 3rd three-pointer of the game. She's got 11. Summertown leads it by 21, 57-36. Trap put on here as Rollins brings it across for Whitwell. Actually, Campbell has 13. Culver now has it at the top of the key, thinks about three, pulls it down to Zinsen. Zinsen had 16 in the first half, but has been held to 4 here in the second. She's been held to 6 here in the second. Dimwitty now guarding Dzingelski. Now over to Zinsen. Zinsen at the wing. Over to Culver. Culver, skip pass over to Dzingelski. Over to Rollins in the corner. She's going to try a jumper. Rattles home and in. Rollins has 5, her first bucket of the second half. Leads back to 19, 57-38. Campbell dribbles it off her foot and stolen away by Zinsen. She's going to go coast to coast and misses the layup. And rebounded by Dimwitty, and she's going to slow it down and hand it over to Campbell. And Campbell's going to bring it back over the timeline. Over to Wilson. Wilson to Burleson. Burleson now to Burdett. Burdett over to Campbell. Campbell gets a screen from Burdett. Now over to Wilson. Wilson down low to Burdett. And she's going to get fouled by Rollins. That's Rollins' first. Team's 5th. And Burdett's going to go to the line to shoot 2. She's 2 for 4 from the line. She's got 10 points. And the first free throw attempt is up and in. 3 for 5 is Burdett, trying to make it 4 for 6 to pick up her 12th point. And she does. 12 points for Burdett. Lead back out to 21, 59-38 with 3:15 remaining. Zinsen, step back 3, no good. Rebounded by Burdett, hands it over to Campbell, who races over the timeline. Campbell now to Burdett, over to Mia Dimwitty. Dimwitty dribbles, down low to Burdett, out to Wilson. Wilson's going to try another 3. Nothing but net from Reese Wilson. Her second three-pointer of the game. She's got 9 here in the second half. 13 for the game. Now stolen away by Summertown. Campbell now has it at the Tiger logo. Now hands it over to Burdett, over to Burleson. Burleson now to Wilson. Wilson now over to Campbell from the wing. She dribbles out to Burdett at the top of the key. Burdett over to Dimwitty. Dimwitty from the wing lobs it into a wide open Burdett. for the easy two. 14 for Katie Burdett. She's 3 for 3 here in the second half. And it's a 26-point Summertown lead, 64-38, 2:10 remaining. Culver. That one's going to get stolen away by Ainsley Burleson. She dribbles it up the court now over to Mia Dimwitty. Stops the dribble over to Burleson. Burleson's going to drive and gets it stolen away by Dzingleski. 12 turnovers here by the Eagles. Now Culver just inside the three-point line, shoots it and is going to get fouled by Wilson, and Culver's going to go to the line for the first time tonight. Second against Wilson. The team's fourth here in the second half with 1:51 remaining in the game and a 26-point Eagle advantage. First free throw here from Culver is up, and it's nothing but net. Culver's got 10, and a whole new set of players coming into the game here for Whitwell, and checking in for Summertown is Mackenzie Reynolds. So you have Harvey, Kilgore, O'Neill, and Long into the game for Whitwell as Culver hits a second. Culver's got 11. As now checking in is Riley Buckwood. Schaefer for the Eagles. Also checking in is Chloe Heatherly. And Riggs. Riggs now brings it up over to Reynolds. Reynolds out to Schaefer. Schaefer dribbles out to Riggs, and she's going to get called for the travel. 7th turnover of the second half, 13th of the game, 1:36 remaining with a 24-point lead. Now checking in for the Eagles is Lauren Howe. Checks in for Riggs. Also checking in is Hannah Jones. Now bringing it over the timeline is Lauren Ridge here for the Tigers is Lowe. Gets that one stolen away by Heatherly, and a good job here by the Eagles as they force the turnover. Also 13 turnovers against the Tigers. Reynolds picks up her dribble, skips it over to Howe. Howe's going to try the three and hits it. Lauren Howe, it's her first points of the game and of the tournament, and it's now a 27-point Tiger lead, 67-40, 1 minute remaining. Long has it at the Tiger logo here. Harvey has it, sends it out the Ridge. Ridge over to Elledge. Elledge now over to Kilgore at the top of the key, over to Harvey at the wing. Now the Long at the top of the key. She's going to drive, throw it down low to Harvey. Harvey goes up, and Rattles can't get it to go. And now getting ready to bring it across the timelines, Riley Buckwood. Buckwood dribbles, picks up the dribble, and tries to throw it to Lauren Howe, and it gets knocked out of bounds. Clock stops at 30 seconds left to play here. Summertown leading at 67-40. Now, Howe's going to attempt the three. Corner doesn't go, but it's going to be rebounded by Buckwood. Now Reynolds going to drive. Now back out to Buckwood. Buckwood gets a screen from Heatherly. Still dribbles. Now out to Howe. Howe's going to drive. Throws it in. And Reynolds is there to pick it up. She gets her first points of the game. 69-40 is the lead as the clock hits 3-2. And Harvey's going to throw one up. It's not in time, and that's the end of the ball game. Summertown going to improve to 4-0 on the season with a 69-40 win over Whitwell. They'll take on Moore County tomorrow at 5 o'clock for the Thanksgiving Classic Championship. Another great performance here by the Lady Eagles as they stay undefeated. That game against Moore County will be at 5 o'clock. That'll be followed by the boys taking on the Knowledge Academy Moore County winner for the Thanksgiving Classic Championship game as well. But for now, I'm AJ Good along with Kevin Wright running all of our equipment here tonight and this afternoon. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 5 o'clock here on the X Sports Network.
This is the X Sports Network.